Hi, it's Hannah. Thanks for watching. Today I'm talking about all the perfume that I wore in the month of September. This is now part of an ongoing series. It was originally suggested to me by a viewer who said, hey, why don't you just tell us what you wear over the course of the week or over the course of the month? I'll have to say that September is super duper busy for me, so definitely posting weekly is not realistic. I wouldn't want to commit to that, but monthly I can do, and I'm happy to share all the things I tried and reached for this month. Like usual, we will start with the full bottles from my collection that I wore. And I'll start with one that I mentioned in my August video. This was a perfume that I sampled and I loved, and I said that it was at the top of my wish list at the time, and that is Rouge Saray by Atelier des Or. I hope that I'm going to get the chance to make a more thorough review of this perfume because I really do like it, and I think that it is perfect for cooler weather, so it's working really, really well for fall. The main notes in this are warm spices, so cinnamon, pepper, there's a bit of leather, there's a plum note that's super jammy, and then there's a ambery dry down that is mainly vanilla and woods, I would say. It's absolutely turned into one of my favorite perfumes of all time. I'm finding it so delicious, so easy to wear. I know that this brand got a little bit of flack a while ago on Instagram. I remember distinctly people saying, like, you're increasing the price of the perfume by putting these gold flakes in it. But, you know, what I've come to realize is that presentation counts for so much with perfume, and you want to feel like you're having a luxurious experience. And brands also need to find a way to distinguish themselves from each other. And so if this is the way that the brand is doing it, I am happy about it. You do get a little bit of the gold when you spray the perfume, but not so much that you're going to feel like you're covered in glitter or anything like that, especially if you spray it on your skin. I find that the little gold flecks kind of just blend in. They don't really stand out. I would be careful spraying this on a white shirt, but so far I haven't seen or have had a problem with myself. So I love it. I sampled it in August and I was able to find a partial bottle that I am going to wear all throughout the fall. I'm really, really enjoying this perfume a lot. The next one I'm going to talk about is one that I got a long time ago, and that is Loon by Himajomo. This is a small brand, and they're based in France, but all their scents are inspired by the scents of the Himalayas. Now, I'm Indian, so I have some family that is from that region, and I really, really connected with the aesthetic of the brand when I ran into them in Milan earlier this year. Loon in Punjabi means salt, and I have talked about this perfume before. I've posted a full review of it. This is a more austere and restrained fragrance. You can see that it's not very bling in its presentation. It's not ostentatious at all, but it does have a really intriguing and prominent salt accord that it opens with, and it has vetiver in the dry down that to me just smells really cooling. And so I wore Loon on the warmer days that we had in September. So I feel like Calgary is usually on the colder side, but we really did have a warm September, and I would say that I actually wore this perfume the most because I wore it 5 times. I had a whole week where I was wearing this every single day, multiple sprays of it. And so this is the perfume that I wore a lot of, and I really, really enjoyed wearing it. Just feels like a cooling breeze. There's nothing generic about this. It's just so unusual and so calming to wear. And again, lovely when it is really warm outside. So that's Loon by Himajomo. Lastly, the full bottle that I reached for is one that I was able to get a backup bottle of earlier this year, and that is Fate by Amouage. Now, I haven't actually reviewed this perfume because I feel like every time I try to describe it, I just don't have the words that can evoke how beautiful and transportive it is. The main notes in this are spices and incense and a lot of powder. I feel like this is one of those scents that's also really polarizing. Some people feel like all they get when they smell it is just a whole bunch of powder, but I think it's so much more than that. I really do get a really strong incense in the dry down and more spices on top. It's opulent, it's long lasting, it has tons of sillage. It is very, it really makes me think of something that royalty would wear, you know, something that a king or a queen would have in their holy place where they're going to pray or something like that. That is what I think of when I think of Fate. And like I mentioned, this is my backup bottle. I bought this original bottle a few years ago, and then because it was discontinued and so hard to find again, I just really didn't wear it a lot. But after I bought a backup bottle, I've just kept it out in my fragrance rotation, and I ended up wearing it a few times in September and really, really enjoyed it. Again, this is a heavier perfume, so I don't like wearing it when it's warm outside, and I did wear this on cooler days. Really, I just wear 2 sprays of this and I can smell it the whole entire day because it is just so, so strong. So that is Fate by Amouage. And really still the only Amouage bottle I have in my collection. I have decants of Jubilation 25 and I just got a decant of Sunshine Woman. I love Jubilation 25, but I feel like I have enough Sheepers in my collection. And then Sunshine Woman, I haven't even worn yet. I just got that one. So maybe I'll wear it next month. But this is the only one that I have a full bottle of. And I think it's amazing enough to even have a backup bottle. I don't believe in having backup bottles, but I just couldn't resist when I saw this come up for sale. And I bought a backup bottle. So that is Fate by Amouage. Let's talk now about the samples that I wore in the month of September. I'll start with one that I have almost finished, and that is this little 2 ml decant of Angelique by Papillon. This was not really on my radar, but I bought another decant from someone that was decanting something I wanted to try, and I kind of just wanted to add something to my order, so I decided to order this. I had been hesitant of trying anything by Papillon Perfumes because I know that sometimes they can be quite animalic, but Angelique is not animalic at all, and it has kind of blown me away. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is now at the top of my wish list, and I'm going to definitely finish this decant and then maybe get a bottle. Angelique is smoky and powdery. It has incense, it has myrrh, so it's kind of a warm powder perfume. I will say that I love this perfume a lot because it reminds me of one of my favorite perfumes of all time, and that is Bois d'Argent by Dior. I've talked about that perfume before. I've bought a dupe of it before, and that was Bois d'Iris by Van Cleef & Arpels. I was not expecting this to be similar to that perfume. There's nothing, when I researched it, there's nothing, nobody else has found that similarity. But I think if you like Bois d'Argent because you like how incensey it is and how powdery it is because of that blend of incense, myrrh, and iris and honey, then you might like Angelique by Papillon as well. There's the smokiness in the top notes and like a hint of tobacco that makes it really intriguing. And I think that for me, it kind of edges out Bois d'Argent, and I'll say that I like it a little bit better because it's just a little bit more interesting. It's multifaceted in a more obvious kind of way. It changes as you wear it, so it starts out smoky, but it doesn't continue to be smoky the whole time. It has great lasting power, and still it's not a very obvious and in-your-face perfume. It doesn't project a lot, it doesn't have a lot of presence, but neither did Bois d'Argent. Bois d'Argent, on me at least, almost turned into a skin scent when I wore it almost immediately. And I even had some friends that when I sprayed it with them, like I smelled it with them and I sprayed it on paper, they actually couldn't smell anything at all. So I do think that there's also a high amount of musks in Bois d'Argent that sometimes people can't perceive. So Angelique doesn't have that. It has more of a presence, and it's also just more lovely to wear. So I like it because I like those kinds of scents that are like Bois d'Argent, and it reminded me of that perfume, but I wouldn't say that they're dupes of each other at all. I don't think that Liz Moore, the perfumer behind Angelique and the owner of Papillon Perfumes, I don't think that she was trying to dupe that scent. And I don't think anyone's noticed that they're similar, but to me, in my mind, they are very similar. And I really, really enjoyed sampling Angelique. I will be looking for a bottle. So that's the first one. The next perfume I'm talking about, I actually sampled it in August, and when I travel, I have all these makeup bags that I travel with. So I have one that's full of skincare, I have one that's got hair care in it, I have one that has makeup, of course. I've got one that has, random things that I might need, so like allergy medicine or Advil, Tylenol, that sort of stuff. And then I've got usually a little bag that has perfume samples that I'm going to try while I'm traveling. And then as I wear those samples, I either get rid of them if I don't like them, or I throw them back in one of my travel bags. And when I get home, I emptied everything and talked about my favorite perfumes from August. The other day I was emptying out a makeup bag because I needed it, and I found this that I had finished in the month of August. And this is La Tesa by Masque Milano. You guys know I love iris perfumes, I love powder, and so it's no surprise that I really, really enjoyed La Tesa, so much so that I finished my sample of it. Now, I had said in August that I was traveling and I was by a lake, so it was very, very humid, very hot, and in humid and hot weather, perfume really doesn't last a long time. So I was wearing more perfume than I would normally wear. I was able to spray more heavily than I would spray at home, and that could explain why I ran out of La Tesa, but I also think that this is a subtle, easy to wear perfume. It opens with a champagne accord, and it's quite yeasty and sparkly at the same time. And I found out later that the reason that it has such a bread-like quality is because they actually created the accord made from materials that they harvested from bread rising or from activated yeast, something along those lines. So that is why the opening of this is so clearly boozy and champagne-y, because they are using materials that are harvested from something that is being fermented. So that's really cool. I thought that that was really interesting. If you're not a fan of boozy notes or yeasty kind of accords, don't worry, because that does not last a long time. And what you're left with is kind of a powdery white floral mid, I would say. There's tuberose in here, and there was ylang ylang also that kept it kind of fresh and effervescent. And paired with the iris, there was also a good amount of powder, which I really love. I love powdery perfumes. I wouldn't say La Tesa was overly powdery, at least not in a way that I could perceive when I was wearing it, but you did get a good amount of iris, and I do think that this is, Masque Milano's ode to iris. A lot of their perfumes, at least from the ones that I've tried, have a good amount of powder in them, and this one is no exception. Again, super easy to wear, really beautiful, definitely unusual, didn't remind me of anything else that I had tried before, so I really liked that. I considered adding this to my collection because I feel like I want to experience it again. I just haven't done it yet, and I don't know, maybe I will one day, but I just wanted to bring up that I did finish this sample, and I clearly really, really enjoyed it. So that was La Tesa by Masque Milano. The next two samples that I wore a lot of in the month of September are of hair perfumes. You can probably tell I was at the hair salon quite a bit in the month of September, and I just felt like it was time for a refresh, so made my pilgrimage there. And they had just gotten in the Balmain Hair Perfumes, and so there's vetiver, cardamom, and there's also ginger, which I don't have a sample of. Maybe if I'd gone one more time, I would have had a sample of it. These actually launched last year or maybe even the year before, so they were on my radar, but the salon that I go to has the whole entire Balmain hair care line, and they finally got these hair perfumes also. I find that these are actually super strong, so they are very strong for hair perfumes, and hair perfumes are typically made in water instead of alcohol so that you're not damaging your hair as you spray it. Now, spraying regular perfume on my hair has never bothered me. I feel like I do so much to my hair anyways that it's going to be dry and damaged to a certain degree, and that's okay. That's just life. But I appreciate a good hair perfume, and these are actually super strong. So you can wear just one or two sprays and you will be able to smell it the whole entire day, especially if you have long hair that's moving around. I feel like I got whiffs of the perfume all day long, and I really enjoyed that. The vetiver is definitely the most masculine of the three that they have. It kind of reminded me of an old school barbershop perfume, and then it has a powdery vanilla dry down, and actually all the perfumes have the same sort of dry down. There's a dry powdery vanilla that's a little bit cozy but also kind of effortless and not too strong. I would say that the dry down is a little bit more feminine, but it's also all present in the Balmain Air perfume, because they have one that's just for men as well. It looks like that, and then this is the signature, and then these are the three that they just launched. I like these were easy to wear. I really enjoyed them. You can see that that is the dent I made in the cardamom one, and this is the dent that I made in the vetiver one. Now, you would think that I would finish this and then end up buying a bottle, because I love cardamom perfume. I just love the scent of cardamom, and I really did enjoy this. However, I felt that the dry down was very similar to the scent of the regular Balmain hair products, and this is the leave-in conditioner that I've had for over a year. I've had it for a very long time, got it at the same salon, and it has that same powdery vanilla smell, except it's not very strong, so you can use a lot of this leave-in conditioner and not feel like you're gonna smell like that the whole entire day. I actually wore it today, and I can't smell it in my hair at all, but it's there. If you put your nose right up to your hair, you're gonna be able to smell it. So if all the products have the same scent and you're going to use them and layer them, to me, I would rather spend the money on a new bottle of this leave-in conditioner rather than spend the money on these hair perfumes. And by the way, they're not cheap. They're $250 for a large bottle. I believe the bottle is 100 ml or 150 ml, quite a large bottle. How big is this? This is 200 ml. So I think they're the same size as this. So it's $250 for a 200 ml bottle. For reference, the Diptyque hair perfumes retail for $100 for a 50 ml bottle. So we're looking at $2 per ml in general. So their pricing is on par with the pricing of other hair perfumes. I don't know how much the Frederic Malle hair perfumes are because I've never bought those. But you're still looking at paying a premium because you're paying for a luxury hair product and a luxury scent, not just for any old hair perfume that you would buy at the drugstore. I encourage you to check out the scent, especially if you like the smell of Balmain hair products. You can just amp up that scent with the hair perfume. So they really are nicely done and very beautiful. I can't remember now the perfumer behind them. It might be Cecile Zarokian. I follow her on Instagram and I remember her posting about it. I'm pretty sure it's her. So they are done by you know, a perfumer who is taking credit for them. They are really beautiful. They last a long time. They have good sillage. I just wasn't putting them on top of my wish list right now. So that's nice. I wore these. The next perfume sample that I wore was Soie Malaquais by Dries van Noten. I remember hearing that these were super generic. Like someone said that they have a very generic base. I didn't find that for Soie Malaquais. I feel like it smells pretty unique. I had another one too. I can't remember which one I had, but they all kind of have, they share a similar accord, and I don't know what it is. This is supposed to be hazelnut and silk, or sorry, not hazelnut, chestnut and silk. I don't find it to be that nutty, and I don't find it to be that gourmand, but I also didn't love it. You can probably see that from my face. I wasn't blown away by this perfume. The bottles are beautiful. I almost considered blind buying a bottle last year because of how pretty they are. This bottom is blue ceramic, and I have a lot of blue ceramic in my house. Like, I have a lot of blue in general, but I also have blue teacups and saucers for them, and I have lots of like blue ceramic bowls, some that are made in Japan, so I have them in different sizes. That's kind of my thing. It's like something that I look out for if I'm ever in a homeware store. So this really does match my aesthetic, but I didn't love the perfume, and they retail for $400. So nothing, in my mind, this just didn't blow me away enough for me to spend $400 on it. And by the way, like, notice that I'm not saying that this is not worth $400. If it blows you away and you really like it, go ahead and spend that money. That's the kind of money that I've spent on the Celine perfumes, and I like those. I think if you're gonna wear it, then it's worth whatever you think it's worth. So knock yourself out. If you like Soie Malaquais, enjoy. I didn't connect with it, to be honest. I could not connect with it, and it didn't feel to me as something I wanted to keep reaching out for. So that is Dries van Noten Soie Malaquais. Okay, last but not least, I won these Born to Stand Out samples on Instagram, and they are of their new collection, and the new collection is based all around animalic notes, animalic musks. Now there's 3 scents in the collection. There's Naked Laundry and Filthy Musk and L'Animal. So I've smelled these a total of 3 times. I did not wear them on skin because I didn't like them enough to smell them the whole entire day. The first time that I sprayed these, I was by myself at home, and I didn't love them. I thought that Naked Laundry was kind of boring because it does just smell like Bounce or Tide. I do a lot of laundry. I have done a lot of laundry in my life, and that is not a scent that I want to replicate in my day-to-day perfume wearing. I smelled this with a few friends. They weren't as opposed to laundry scent as I was. One of them uses unscented laundry detergent, so for her, that's not as, like, that smell of laundry is not really present in the scent Naked Laundry, and she said she would totally wear something like this. Filthy Musk kind of smelled like, this has pineapple in it, and so it kind of smelled like a locker room with sweaty people and also the scent of pineapple. It kind of reminded me of Aventus, but on a body, like kind of like that. So it wasn't for me. This one's maybe the most masculine one. I really thought it would work well on men. And then finally, L'Animal. L'Animal has, yeah. So I remember looking this up, and this has a primary note of dirty honey. And I don't really love wearing honey perfumes that have a honey note, you know, and really I am unbiased in that I don't like Fermerie Turque because of that by Serge Lutens, and I couldn't wear Cecile à l'aube by L'Artisan Parfumeur because of the honey note. So honey just really doesn't work on me. I feel like it's cloying. It always sticks to my skin. My skin seems to amplify it a lot too. So L'Animal was not for me because of that dirty honey note. It's also super boozy. I don't always love boozy perfumes. So this was a no from me. I'm so grateful to the brand for having the giveaway and for me being able to try the scents because I was so curious about them. But I just decided that none of them are really for me, and I will probably not be revisiting them. I don't know if there's anything that could persuade me to do that. So that's it for me. I feel like that was me talking about a lot of perfumes. I did sample a lot, but I also am happy that I got to wear a lot of the things that I really had not been reaching for, like the Fate and the Lune, and enjoyed my new bottle of Rouge Saray, which I'll continue to wear in October. I also got the new Shalimar that just came out, and that one is based around the note of jasmine, so I like that a lot. I'm going to wear that in the month of October. And yeah, that's basically it from me. Let me know if you've tried any of these or if you're curious about anything, and as always, I will be in the comments. I appreciate them so much. I'll see you next time, hopefully before the end of October. Hopefully I get time to film some more content. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.